This is the OnePlus 10 Pro, OnePlus's first major flagship launch since becoming part of OPPO. Now there's a lot of things to like about this phone and a few things not to. So what does OPPO's OnePlus have to offer this time around? Let's first get the unboxing out of the way and take a close look. My name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech, and if you do end up liking this video, like this video. Let's get started. Now the box is still pretty OnePlus and it's red and black. Very similar to what we've been seeing from them for quite a few years. This here is the 8256 variant. Let's open the box now. Here we get a black insert that has some of the regular reading material. You see, first up there's the SIM ejector tool, then there's a welcome letter. In Chinese, of course, because the OnePlus 10 Pro, as of now at least, is exclusive to China. The global launch is rumored to be in March. Then we have what seems to be a safety information booklet and quick start guides. That's followed by the OnePlus 10 Pro itself, and then we have a colored soft case. Looks nice enough. Now coming to the OnePlus 10 Pro, what you are seeing here is the forest green. OnePlus also offers a volcanic black. The camera array, it reminds me of Samsung, but it's not exactly a copy-paste job. Where Samsung had this nice extension of the frame itself, OnePlus breaks it up. While the frame is still metal, the camera array is ceramic and it happens to look quite nice. OnePlus claims to have used some microcrystals here. So basically what that does is give the finish a kind of glittery look. It's not too in your face, it's quite subtle, so I actually like it. It's the same for both color variants. Now to give you guys a quick walkthrough around the device, to the right we've got the power key and the alert slider, which is probably the one remnant from the old OnePlus phones that's still left here after OPPO's kind of taken over everything. To the top, we've got the secondary noise cancelling microphone, the volume keys, they reside to the left. To the bottom, we've got the primary speaker, USB Type-C board and a SIM tray. Now this SIM tray can take two 5G SIMs. Despite there being no IP68 this time around, there is still a rubber grommet. Guys, we've seen rubber grommets on phones without IP ratings in the past, but this one's only launched in China, and given the OnePlus 9 Pro had IP68, maybe with the global launch they could get this IP certified. I don't know, only time will tell, but there is a chance that could happen. Now talking about things that have been omitted, headphone jack, micro SD, they aren't present. The good thing is that this USB Type-C port, it's USB 3.1 spec, so faster data transfer speeds. The earpiece up top also doubles as a secondary speaker, so we have stereo audio output and it sounds nice. Now the display that you see here is very similar to the one on the OnePlus 9 Pro. This one's also 6.7 inches, again AMOLED, Quad HD+, 120Hz refresh. A lot of these software features we've seen, like different color calibration options, always on functionality. It's very granular. You can set your own patterns. You can set a selfie as a silhouette. And the important thing is when it's always on, this display refreshes at 1 Hz. That's because they've utilized LTPO 2.0 technology. So we get variable refresh rate between 1 to 120 Hz. That should make for better battery efficiency. Talking about which, there's a 5000 mAh battery on the inside for the first time on the OnePlus flagship. And this one's also covered by Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus. The charger included here is 80 watt Super VOOC, and for some reason for the USB cable they've gone from Type-C at both ends to Type-A to Type-C. Now initial reports seem to indicate despite this charger being rated at 80 watts, it charges at around 60 to 65 watts, but can't really complain since this 5000 mAh battery goes 0 to 100 in just 32 minutes, so that's pretty sweet. Wireless charging has been retained and it's still at 50 watts, proprietary of course. Other things that have been left unchanged include the cameras here. Now the secondary, it's been changed similar to what we've seen with the Realme GT2 Pro. We get a 150-degree field of view Samsung JN1 50 megapixel sensor here. Now apart from that, the other two sensors, they've been left untouched from the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now talking about this ultra wide, the primary is generally around 84 degrees for a field of view. Ultra wides are generally 118 to 128 degree field of view, but here 150 means you can get a lot more in a single frame. Now does this mean it's an upgrade? Not really, because the sensor size has been greatly reduced. We've gone from 1 by 1.56 inches to 1 by 2.76 inches in terms of sensor size. And as you can see, low light performance, the OnePlus 9 Pro had no issues outperforming the OnePlus 10 Pro. And we also don't get autofocus, so macro shots via this ultra wide is not a possibility. That said, as long as the light's good, we can shoot great pictures like this. Even the fisheye option that we saw on the GT2 Pro is present here. Here are a few more samples. You guys take a look. Let me know what you think in the comments below. the other two sensors, like I mentioned, are straight out of the OnePlus 9 Pro. The primary is a 48 megapixel Sony IMX789. It's paired with a f1.8 lens that's optically stabilized. The next sensor is 8 megapixels, the telephoto, 3.3x telephoto. So the results are pretty similar to what we've seen with the OnePlus 9 Pro, maybe a tad bit better with regards to software optimization. Now, as you guys continue looking at the samples, let me take a moment to talk about our sponsor for this video, 28mobile.com. 28mobile is where I got this phone from. If there's any phone that's not available in your market and you want to import, 28mobile.com is the best place for you to get them from. Not just the OnePlus 10 Pro, pretty much anything that's hard to get, they probably have it. They ship quick, they've got great service, and if you've not checked them out yet, I'll leave a link in the description below, 28mobile.com. Go ahead, check them out. Now, coming back, one of these sensors is most definitely a huge upgrade. Okay, that might be a little misleading because not one of these sensors, but this one. To the front, they have a 32 megapixel Sony IMX615 compared to the 16 megapixel sensor from last gen. I don't even have to explain, just looking at these shots, I'm pretty sure you can see how much better the OnePlus 10 Pro does. Now, from a software perspective, apart from that fisheye mode we already saw, there's a new Pro mode and Hasselblad's X-Band is also included, pretty cool. There's even a bokeh video mode. And with video, the 10 Pro tops out at 8K 24 with 4K 120 being an option. With 4K 120, we can slow things down in post to create something like this. At 4K on a smartphone, this is just insane. The 4K 60 output is also pretty solid with regards to stability, and I really liked it a lot. Under the hood, the OnePlus 10 Pro is powered by a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip. It's paired with 8 or 12 gigs of DDR5 RAM and 128 or 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage. And like with most brands, a part of this storage can be converted to memory if needed. So that's memory expansion, that's a box checked. Now again, with Antutu, I was not able to cross that million mark. Third time in a row, third phone in a row, my unit has not broken a million despite performance mode being on. I really don't like this trend. But that's not the issue. Again, like we saw with the GT2 Pro, the Geekbench multi-core scores are not really impressive. I think this is some kind of growing pains, early issues. Hopefully they should be able to address it with a software update in the future. From a practical performance perspective, the phone runs well. Gaming performance with their new Pro Gamer mode is excellent. Some features like Hyper Response Touch and Ultra Steady Frames, they've been talked up a lot, but they only work with a certain preset list of games, so that might be a caveat. That said, games seem to run well, and with regular use, despite this being ColorOS, things felt snappy and responsive. Now, as a Chinese unit, mine is pure ColorOS. The global unit should get an Oxygen OS skin on top, but it's just that, a skin. For all intents and purposes, all OnePlus 10 Pros are going to be running on ColorOS, so this is pretty much what you're going to get. While I do miss Oxygen OS, ColorOS seems just fine here. It includes a lot of user-friendly features like the smart sidebar with the option to multitask right from it, or have floating apps open. Apple-esque reachability is even available here. From a customization perspective, we've already seen the different always-on features. On top of that, you get a variety of granular controls to make this just your own phone. Whether it's wallpapers or theming based on said wallpapers or changing the shapes of the icons or even fingerprint scanner animations, there are lots of options available. Talking about the fingerprint scanner, we have one of the optical variety here under the display and it works just fine. So does the 2D face unlock, nice and quick. With all that said and done, let's finally talk pricing. The OnePlus 10 Pro has launched at the same price as the OnePlus 9 Pro did last year in China. Now, before you can rejoice about, hey, the price hasn't gone up, OnePlus generally tends to shoot their prices up, so this is a huge positive. Here's a little food for thought. Now, this phone is priced 18% above the Realme GT2 Pro, and usually that would be perfectly fine. Those are Realmes and Xiaomi's. This is OnePlus. It's got Oxygen OS. It's got that stockish Android experience, which is a huge positive. But it doesn't anymore. It's got ColorOS or an Oxygen OS skin on top of ColorOS. So given that that software advantage isn't there anymore, do you feel OnePlus can still be justified pricing their phones above a Realme or a Xiaomi? Now yes, admittedly compared to a GT2 Pro, this phone does have its advantages. This is USB 3.1 instead of 2.0. We've got wireless charging, the primary sensor is better, we've got an actual telephoto option. So all that is well and good. But still, do you think it's 18%? It's worth 18% more? Now, I'm not going to answer that right now. I'm going to spend more time with this phone and I'll have more to say in the detailed review that should follow in a few weeks. But for now, you guys let me know, what do you think? Do you feel OnePlus have kind of settled here with the 10 Pro, or do you feel they're never settling in their search for profit margins? the move to ColorOS is a very bad move. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And I guess that's pretty much it for this quick little unboxing and hands-on, thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.